I have a special message today, I think. I think it's special. I want to talk about pain, inner pain, because I've noticed that a lot of people are really tripping out over once they wake up and they still have inner conflict or inner pain. And the pain could be fear, it could be doubt, it could be anger, it could be whatever, right? But they feel it in the soul of their belly, and they are surprised because for some reason they thought that once you wake up that you're not going to have any more pain and I have to deal with that. But for a while you will. I don't know how long a while is. And so I was asked over the weekend, do I have that sometime going on within me? And I first want to say that, yes, I do. Sometimes, not all the time. You got to realize that it's a spiritual battle going on. It's a warfare between good and evil happening. And this battle is happening inside of you, in the mind, which is evil, and in the soul of the belly, which is of God, which is good. So you have the darkness of the mind fighting against the light of God within. And you're not, it has nothing to do with you, and it has nothing to do with the people who are trying to inflict pain upon you sometimes. You know how sometimes people can lie on you, they'll gossip about you, they will steal from you, they will do whatever they do, right? And it's happening from that person. And a lot of people, most people who are in darkness tend to think that it's about them, but it's not about you. They're having their own inner conflict going on, that warfare between the mind and the belly, the love of the belly, the light in the soul of the belly. And so they too think it's you doing it to them. But I want you to know that the battle is between the darkness of the imagination. That's why God said, bring every thought into captivity. And that's why I've been telling you for a long time now to doubt every thought, because and to get to know yourself, because once you get to know yourself, you're going to understand, you're going to grow in the spirit. You are a spirit living inside of a body. You are not your body. Your body is just the house that you live in. It's the temple of God that you live in. The real you is on the inside. And you're going to see, this is why it's so important that you take your eyes off anyone else and really pay attention to yourself. Once you forgive, go and forgive your parents, your mother, and return to your father, it's on you from that point. You have to watch over yourself. Just watch and become an observer. You're supposed to just be. Within, you will grow into just being. So because what happened is, Satan is always trying to draw you back into hating. And once he could draw you into hating, which is judgment, which is playing God, either hate yourself or hate the other person or people who sometimes try to bring conflict upon you, cause problems for you, or hate yourself, right? He's always trying to get you to overreact to something, because the moment you overreact to one thing, he can make you overreact to 2, and then 3, and then he got you. All right? And so I want you to really, really know that the battle is happening within you. It ain't happening out there. It's happening in you, and it's happening in everybody on earth. And it's all depend on the influence, either you're of the darkness, which is of the mind, and you're being influenced by that, or if you have overcome and been born again, come back into the light by returning to your Father, you're of the light. And you will see that that battle is not you. It really doesn't have anything to do with the person out there. That's why when you come back to love, perfect love, meaning non-judgmental love, right? When someone tries to hurt you or do you wrong or lie on you or gossip about you, there's nothing in you that will cause you to hate that person, because you're watching yourself, you're the observer, and you know that It's not them. They can't help it. So you can't hate them for it because they can't help it. They're driven by darkness because the people of the light would never hurt anyone. Would never do it because they understand what's going on. And your intention will always be to point the person back to the light. Point them back to the light without judging them at all. That's why Christ said about the woman when he was about to stone her, let ye with no sin, without sin or something, cast the first stone. Because once you wake up, you're going to know they can't help it. All right? So as far as when I have that inner conflict at times, sometimes I don't even know what it's about because I'm looking at the thoughts and there are no thoughts about it. But sometimes it could be walking through the valley of the shadow of death, right? Meaning that you have no idea what's going on. That's why when you have conflict, it is perfect not to name it. Don't call it depression. Don't call it HDD. Don't call it anything. Just observe it because it's a spiritual battle. So sometimes even now when I have it in here, I just know it's there. And if it get rough, I just ask Christ to help me through it. I can't handle it. Or sometimes I would say the 23rd Psalm because I don't know what's going on. So I'm not going to make up something or let Satan make me believe him and make up something, right? I don't know what's going on at times. So when you have those moments of conflict and you don't see any thought connection to it, just relax. The battle is being fought on your behalf all the time. All the time. And when people do things to you try to make you hate them, most of the time they don't know that they're trying to make you hate them, become angry or judge them. Just relax and allow yourself to go through the pain. Go to the pain and relax in it and don't judge it. Because the darkness of the imagination will try hard to make you judge it. So when I get it, once in a while I do get it. And if I don't see any thoughts connected, I have no idea what it is. Did I get into a thought? I don't see any thoughts. And so I just allow myself to go through it. I still maintain a good attitude because if you read the Bible at all, it says, rejoice in the time of tribulation. Tribulation's work is patience in your life. So if you allow yourself to go through it, don't trip out, the pain will leave. At some point, it will leave, and wisdom will flow. Just flow from you. You learn so much from it. It's amazing how you can learn from pain, inner pain, if you don't judge yourself or others. Love is something else. It is a light unto your feet. So when I get it, if I don't see what's going on, sometimes if it's like really, really bad, I'll recite the valley of the shadow of death, the 23rd Psalm, and then it'll be gone. Or I'll just say, hey, Jesus, help me through this, right? And it's gone. But if I can see I'm in a thought, I'll just relax. But it doesn't change anything about my attitude because I realize now I am 100% totally sure it's a battle between the darkness of the imagination and the light within. And if you be still, the light will win it. It will defeat the darkness. But if you overreact or you try to control it or you hate yourself or your fellow man, then you're going to lose because you're giving in to the darkness. We can't do anything about it. That's why he just wants us to return and become a living being. And the light will cause you to grow. And you will grow and you will grow and amazing things will happen. You will see the darkness of the world and you will be like, wow, that is so evil. That's dark. But then you will also be amazed at how wonderful life is. Life is really amazing. And God is in everything. He's with you. He loves you. But you got to know you're not in control of anything. And nothing is personal. Even when they gossip about you or they lie on you or they hear lies, because the children of darkness, they listen to gossip. That means they are not of the light. They are of darkness. And they will believe it because once you hear it, you believe it. It's hard not to believe a lie unless you wake up and you don't have anything to do with lies, right? But it's amazing. So yes, I do get it sometimes, but I understand now not to name it, not to react to it, but just to be still and go through it, but maintain a good attitude, and then you come out on top. All right? So don't think just because you're waking up that Satan is going to go and rest. Oh, I lost that one. I'm down with him. But he will get further and further away from you. And after a while, he has no control because you can see him. Resist the devil and he'll flee from you. You will see him. But the beauty is you're not playing God anymore. You have perfect love, and it casts out all that stuff, all right? So don't trip out. Stay with the silent prayer. Even if you don't listen to go to silentprayer.video, do it on your own. And during the day, this is so good. During the day, practice being aware. Make sure you have aware time, meaning you have that quiet time so you can observe. It's so powerful, right? When you get in your car, your hand want to go and reach for the radio right away. Sometimes don't do it. Yesterday I went to the barbershop. I can't say it, I don't think. I can't tell you where the barbershop is. And because of Chinese disease thing. It took about 30 minutes to get there, but I left the radio off because I wanted that quiet time. I wanted to observe the beauty of the kingdom of heaven on earth. Paradise is up there, but it's also in you, and it's on earth. But if you're not entering into the New Testament, living that life, then you won't see paradise. You will only see hell on earth because that's all you see in you is hell. You don't see the light shining on the darkness. So just be patient. Don't trip out. I was talking to someone yesterday about a long distance call, and they were telling me how they really have learned to have that quiet time. Sometimes they just put down the cell phone. They don't get on the internet or anything because they have a demanding job and they need to be aware, and they deal with a lot of evil people. And they've learned to just be still. So when they're at work and the challenge come, the mind tells them, you need to lie, you need to make up something, you need to do this. But they don't do it, and the situation always turned out very well. God is with you. You're not in control of anything, so stop taking responsibility for that. It's the God that you serve. Either you're influenced by evil or you're influenced by good. And until you're born again of God, you're now back into his nature, which is perfect love, then Satan is influencing you. That's why so many people, there are a lot of people who listen to me and they have heard the truth and they have done the silent prayer, but they're still on pot, they're still on drugs, they're tripping out because they're still listening to the imagination, and the imagination, which is of Satan, is repeating the truth to them, and they think they know the truth. Satan gets you so high, it makes you think you know what you don't know. It's just like read the Bible. You can learn the Bible and repeat the Bible. If you were truly, truly free, you wouldn't be on drugs. You would not be on pot. You would not be an alcoholic because you would have perfect peace. And you were that before you became that, because in that fallen state, we all find something to try to make ourselves feel better, but because we have no peace. But once you wake up, once you forgive your mother and overcome her identity and return to your father, perfect peace. And all those things start to fall away. They really do. And it becomes, now I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. I've been doing this 31 years now. The organization Bond is 30 years old, but I woke up a year prior to start a Bond. And I have to tell you, I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but so far, I totally have nothing against my enemies. Those who lie, those who try to hurt me, those who cheat, because I see they cannot help it. So there's nothing in me that can make them hate it. Make me hate them. Isn't that amazing? So yes, you're going to have it. Sometimes it's not because of a thought. You may be repentance for something. You're being cleansed by the light within. So don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. The ego is constantly dying and you're being made perfect. And the way you're being made perfect is by not overreacting. And sometimes something will happen really fast, and if you're not aware of the thought, it'll snap you into a quick overreaction, And once you do that, you're going to feel fear or doubt or worry or something. If Satan said, oh, you have cancer, let's say you get a headache, and Satan said, you have cancer of the brain. And if you're not aware, you'll believe it, and now you're convinced you have cancer. And no one can convince you that you don't. But once you come out of that thought, you can see that it was a lie. All right? So, yes, you're going to have conflict sometimes. Sometimes it's just a cleansing of the old stuff being taken away. Sometimes, other times, it's because you overreacted to a thought. It's a spiritual battle. And if you're aware of that, your life will still be amazing because you wouldn't have to run and take medication or run from it by getting drunk or doing some drugs or anything. All right? So relax and enjoy your life.